Well, hey, and welcome to another episode of Beetle Dustino coming at you again today with yet another video. And we're going to talk today about something we all want to see, and that would be the Rubber Soul Deluxe box set, the special edition version of Rubber Soul that we're all expecting. And kind of let's discuss what we want to see in the box. Seeing as we're not getting that, let's see possibly what might come next year, or at least what we'd like to see. So before we get started with that, let's see the intro. So yeah, with all the Beatles news coming out right now, we got the new Christmas box set coming out, the big release for the year. Seems like every year lately, since about for quite a while actually. I was going to say 2017 with the Sgt. Pepper's set, but seems like even before that we've been getting about something every year, or at least every other year before that. So a little something, at least something. They've been working on, Sgt. Pepper's obviously, and then the White Album, and then we had Abbey Road, wow. And then we had the Let It Be one, and now Revolver, and then now we've got 2 years in a row where we were expecting this. We've heard rumor of this strongly, and we haven't got it. I've been a big fan of this. This is probably my favorite Beatles album. If it's not this one, it's Revolver or Abbey Road. I'm kind of in that kind of three-way tie right now with the three of those albums. But this has been a long-standing favorite of mine. And, originally came out on December 3rd, 1965. And maybe that is part of what they're doing. Maybe they're holding out for the anniversary year, the 60th anniversary. So possibly that, which I mean would make sense if they didn't do it in 2023, they didn't do it in 2024. We've got the anniversary. So yeah, I've been so puzzled on why they did the US albums, 1964 albums in mono as the box set for this year. Usually this is something they're trying to do to promote new fans, keep old fans going, a new product for old fans to get, but also to bring in new fans. And I don't see this one at all bringing in new fans. Not at all. Everything that's on there that people would be interested in has already happened. The price point on it is just outrageous. I love the fact that they got individual albums available. And the price on those I don't think is outrageous, just getting it individually. But the box was really a head scratcher, and I've actually canceled my pre-order on it. And I'm going to kind of wait and see if there gets to be a decent price on it. Maybe I'll pick it up then, but right now I've got the pre-order yet for the colored vinyl, Meet the Beatles. And my next video is going to be on the colored vinyl and history on that with the Beatles. So I've got that, and I'm excited for that, but nothing else with this new release. But I am excited for them to finally get this one with the stereo remix, the new modern stereo remix. And we've got half of the album done already on the Red album that came out last year with the new updated Red album. Literally half of Rubber Soul is on there. So we've got half of it done. And that seems kind of odd too, that they're now going to have a 2023 remix, and it's going to come out in 2025. So part of it's going to be 2023, part of it's going to be 2025. It's just weird on that. But, let's kind of go over what we'd like to see in the box. And, at doing that, I think we're going to take a look at the last one here. It should be the Revolver. I'm so stuck on the Rubber Soul. And I think this was a very well done box set. I don't know if everybody's going to agree with me, but I think it was. My only complaint with this particular release was the fact that they mirrored the CD box and the LP box. So if you wanted both the LPs and wanted both the CDs, you got the book twice. And that kind of rubbed me wrong on that. They kind of did that with Let It Be though too, when I think about it. But I'd kind of like to see this done again, especially with the CD one. I do got the LP one here though. Let's take a look at what you got in this box though. I think it's a pretty good formula for what they're going to do with Rubber Soul, aside from an additional. See if I can get these out without everything falling apart. So of course the main thing you get is the remixed stereo, or there it is, the stereo remix, the modern remix. So this is the 2022 on this one. And so that obviously is a must, and that we're already halfway there, as I said, with Rubber Soul. So we get that out of the way. No big deal on that. That's pretty typical to be expected. Next up, we get usually a sessions and kind of demos and such disc. This one happened to be 2-disc. Let me get this out of the way because we'll handle that next. This one happened to be a 2-disc on this one. Really nice with the gatefold here and everything. But yeah, this would be kind of the next phase here with the Rubber Soul box. Now, I know these older albums, there isn't a lot. And what we've had so far, we did have a couple of things. Because usually with these new sets, we're kind of doubling up stuff that's been done on the anthologies. And Anthology 2 did feature, I'm really surprised it was only a few. But it was only 3. So it was Norwegian Wood, This Bird Is Flown, take 1. I'm Looking Through You, take 1. And then the only one that was like new material from that, there was a song that was omitted, which would be 12-bar original. It was an instrumental, and that was take 2 and edit on that. I would expect those probably to be on the new one, and kind of similar stuff with the other songs off of the album on that. Now, another thing, and those sessions did take place between October 22nd to November 30th of 1965. So I would say there's some stuff there. You almost got a full month, or October 12th, I'm sorry, October 12th, my handwriting is terrible. So almost a month and a half, actually, of them sitting in the studio there. So we got quite a bit. Another thing that hit me on that, this will be one of the first albums that they're doing this kind of remix and, you know, such on an expanded package. We'll actually have some live albums, or live tracks that are possible off of it. And there wasn't much. I did a little research, and let me know if I'm wrong. There might still be more out there, but what I found is If I Needed Someone, they did live in Japan on June 30th of 1966. Nowhere Man, they did in Munich on, is it Circus Chrome, I think, in June 24th of 1966. They also did Nowhere Man at Candlestick Park on August 29th of 1966, which I believe is their last concert they ever played there, aside from the rooftop concert there. And then Day Tripper they also did at Candlestick Park on that same date. Those are floating out there, and I think that would be an interesting addition to put onto this, because we really haven't had that with these other albums before. So that would be kind of cool in the sessions and that. Now, will they go a full 2-disc like they did with this one? I guess it's possible. You know, they could slim it down to 1 disc. And this is an interesting theory I got going. So I'll get to my theory in just a second, because let's finish up here. Something else that's pretty standard that they do. Of course, with the Revolver one, we also got the little EP here, the Revolver EP they called it, which is basically Day Tripper and We Can Work It Out. So the singles that were kind of associated with, or Day Tripper and We Can Work It Out would be the Rubber Soul one. This one was Paperback Writer and Rain. But yeah, it was kind of cool. They did this, and they did the remix, the modern remix on the stereo stuff, and then we got an all-analog mono copy of it on the other side. So the one side was mono, the original analog mono, and then the modern day 2022, this was, remix on the stereo on those 2 tracks. So that's a good addition, and I would expect that with Day Tripper and We Can Work It Out on the Rubber Soul one. And then another thing that I would kind of expect with the Rubber Soul one too, they did with the Revolver, is we got another disc of the album, but this was a mono copy of it, and this went back to the original 1966 analog, straight from the master tapes, to do this cut of this one. And I would expect they would do the same with Rubber Soul, go back to the 65 tapes, do a mono version of that too. The other thing we get in the box that is pretty standard is a nice hardback book. That obviously I would expect with the Rubber Soul box. I'm fully expecting that they're going to do the same type of thing, where they'll do a CD set and the LP set again, mirroring each other. And so we'll get 2 hardback books if you get both sets. So I am fully expecting that will happen again. I'm not, for me, I know I'm going to probably buy both, so it kind of bugs me, but there are people out there that are only going to get one or the other, and I would be pissed off if I didn't get the hardback book with one or the other. However, the old, up until Let It Be, so Sgt. Pepper's White Album, Abbey Road, had kind of a slimmed down vinyl set, but I suppose vinyl is kind of taken over and CDs are going out. So, yeah, I guess it's to be expected with this. So, but at least I'm glad they haven't totally flip-flopped it, where the CD is the slimmed down one that you don't get everything with, and the LP you get in the full thing. So I'm glad they haven't totally abandoned the CD on this yet, which scary might happen with this one. But yeah, the big thing I would like to kind of see with the Rubber Soul set, and let me know in the comments, let me know your thoughts on it all. Let me know if you know of sessions and stuff that would make up a good 2-disc. If not, if there isn't enough 2-disc, tell me if I'm off on this. I think they should include the US albums version. I threw away my... Okay, didn't throw it away, I just moved it where it was out of reach. My US albums version of it here. I think this album itself, yes, it's only a few tracks different, 2 tracks shorter, 4 tracks removed from this version, from the UK version, and 2 tracks added. So we're still 2 tracks short, but we got 2 tracks added, but you do the math. But anyways, but this one inspired Pet Sounds, and I think this needs to get some recognition. It wasn't the UK one that inspired Pet Sounds, it was this one. And I think it would be cool if they did a stereo, not the mono, the stereo, Dave Dexter Jr. mixed version of this. So of course, with I'm Looking Through You, you get the false starts and all that, and that would be great on there. You don't get that with the mono one, and I think that's more of a story than the mono version on this. But I think it would be very cool if they threw in the Dave Dexter Jr. stereo mix of the Capitol albums version. So yeah, you would kind of be getting 2 versions of the album, but well, 3 versions actually, because you'd be getting the newly mixed stereo one, then you'd be getting the original mono one in my fantasy box set here, and then you'd also be getting the Capitol version of it, which is pretty much all the same, but a few tracks there. So, but yeah, that's kind of my proposal. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm onto something here, that they should include the US version of Rubber Soul with it? I really think they should, especially, I think it would be great, as I said, I don't know if they're going to have as much sessions in that, so maybe we aren't going to get that other disc. So maybe it won't pad it out too much where it's going to bring up the cost by having yet another disc in there. It would be a cool addition, and I think that version of it should be celebrated in some way, and I think it should be celebrated in the book, in the box there. The book could have a nice write-up on it, a chapter or 2 about that one too. I think there's enough story there with that, and I struggle with it. Rubber Soul is one of my favorite albums. It's definitely my favorite US album version. I struggle with it on which of the 2 I like better, the UK or the US. And I've always told myself, oh, it's going to be the UK forever, because that's one I fell in love with. But every time I listen to the US one, I'm like, there is something to this. Just taking out those few songs and adding in those other couple of songs, it really turns it into a different album and a different feel. And opening up with I've Just Seen a Face and stuff like that, it just kind of pulls it in. And I've always said that it's Beatles for Sale, Help, and Rubber Soul are kind of a trilogy. Where it's a true evolution of it. Yes, you still had cover songs on both For Sale and Help, where Rubber Soul was the second album that got all original material on it after Hard Day's Night. Still don't have any covers on the US version, but pulling those 2 tracks off of Help, they fit right in, because like I said, I feel like For Sale, Help, and Rubber Soul all kind of mesh. I think there's definitely stuff off of Beatles for Sale that you could pull and put onto Rubber Soul even. So, I think it kind of meshes with that. So I really like that album. I think I would still prefer the UK one overall, but every time I listen to the US one, I'm not disappointed like I am with the other US albums. And don't come after me that I'm an American fan. I know there's a lot of American fans that are fans of the US albums. And, I grew up in the CD era, so I grew up with the UK mixes and the UK track list and that. So I'm familiar with that, and that's to me what the Beatles should be. And, exploring the US stuff now, going back and exploring it, it's different, but, I still would prefer the UK stuff. However, Rubber Soul is the one that really kind of makes me go, yeah, they were onto something with this one. And those false starts on I'm Looking Through You are great. I think that's great having that on there. Anyways, I'm hoping not to make this one too long. I just kind of want to get this out there, get some comments going. Like I said, let me know your thoughts. What do you want to see in the box? Let me know what sessions and stuff you'd like to see. Do you think it could fill up a full 2-disc, or do you think it would just be a single disc on that? Let me know if you think I'm on to something with including the US albums version of it in there. I think we should. I think that would be an interesting little box, you know, with the new stereo mix, the original mono mix, and the Dave Dexter Jr. Capitol mix, the original Capitol mix from Rubber Soul with the tracks taken off and tracks put on, and give you a little preview for Help too, I suppose, on that, because you'd have at least two songs. Wow, I did two songs from Help. That you'd already have kind of previewed in there, but there's quite a bit on Help too when I think about it that's on the Red album. But anyways, I am starting to make this too long, and I'm going to get totally wrapping up. Before I do that, I want to thank all my subscribers, and thanks to any new subscribers, and there has been quite a few lately. I swear, once I hit that 1,000 mark, it's like I'm paying attention, but not quite like I was before. It's just kind of, wow, I'm getting that many subscribers all of a sudden. Yeah, thank you so much for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do keep adding to that count there. It's amazing. I can't believe this many people are wanting to watch me. Me sit here, ramble, and go like this. But yeah, anyways, yeah, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out. Also, please give the video a like. It really does help out the channel and the video. And like I always say, if you've stuck around to this point, you must like it. So please give it a like and do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. Like I said, this is one I'm really opening up to my subscribers and, you know, people that watch the video. Please comment and let me know what your thoughts are on this. I kind of want to see what you guys all think it will be the ultimate Rubber Soul special edition box set. Or I suppose this one could be called the anniversary edition now that I think about it. So yeah, this one possibly could get back to the anniversary edition. So there we go. But anyways, I'm going to get totally signing out. I am Beatle Dustino, signing out.